Good morning, everybody. What's happening? My name is Matt. We are live for Wake Up Legendary. It's January 11th, and we've got another awesome guest here today. We're going on almost 2 straight years of bringing guests onto our show and featuring their success and telling their story and just showing off what an amazing community exists here. And I'm excited for today's interview. She's young. She's from Houston, from Texas, and she's just got a very interesting journey and story, and seems really passionate to me. And her sort of journey to success has been really quick. So I'm excited to bring Nayeli on the show. What's up?
Hey guys.
What's going on? You're in Houston, right?
Yes, I'm in Houston. It is 9 a.m. over here, so I'm excited to see you guys.
Nice. We're excited to have you. For those of us who are just getting to know you and just getting introduced to you, tell us a little bit about you and your story and your journey, and just tell us about how you found Legendary, because you were trying other things, right?
Yes, so I'm actually 22 years old. My birthday is this weekend. So I've always had this mindset like I didn't want to work a 9 to 5, but my parents were like, no, go to college, go to college. I'm like, okay, let me study something easy. So I studied psychology, worked with kids with autism. I actually loved it. I loved it. But here in Houston, the turnover rate for that was insane because
That's
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, and the pay was sucked. The pay sucked. And I had just moved out at 18, so I was like, no, I need something more for myself. So I never lasted a year at a job. I was never like satisfied. I always wanted more and more until like I was fed up with the company. I was like, you know what? I cannot just wake up every single day for 60 years of my life and doing the same routine. So I looked into Amazon. Actually, no, I lied. I looked into Forex first. Yeah, Forex, it was not for me. I don't know because I'm not into the math stuff, but I hated it. It sucked. Like I didn't understand anything. I was like, what is this? It was like a foreign language to me. I was like,
uh,
no. So I basically paid like 1,000 something for the course, and it just failed like in a month. It failed. Like I was like, dang it. And my mom was like, she never was like, oh, see, you're wasting money. She was just like, okay, well maybe try something else. So I was like, okay. So I found Amazon, spent another 2,000, and I think the course lasted for a week. And after that, like my mentors just stopped mentoring me. I didn't know what to do. I had to find a product, and I spent about at least 5K with ads and everything in a month or two, and it just went down the drain. In 4 months, I probably made $30 in like from people buying the products. That was it. And I
wow.
was like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. So I was like, okay, let me keep looking. And then this is when COVID hit. And I came across this TikTok about you guys. And I was like, look, third time is a charm. Let me just do it. And I was like, what the heck? I already probably spent 10K trying to figure things out. So I was like, okay, let me give this a try. And at first I was kind of skeptical. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to. I don't want to lose more money. But I was like, hey, at this point, I don't care. I don't want to work a 9 to 5 anymore. I need to find something that works for me. And I found this, and from day one, I loved it. I loved it. And I think the reason why I loved it was because I was already starting YouTube. I had already my YouTube channel. So
Yep.
this year, I was like, oh my God, I love social media. This is easy for me. Like all I have to do really is be consistent, make TikToks, and I love doing that already. So, and it just came natural to me. And ever since that, like I've fallen in love with the program and everything.
Wow. Interesting. That's super interesting. So, what you had a YouTube already existing? What was that like? Was it
So
in?
I made my YouTube channel because I wanted to talk about like story times. I was in a domestic abuse relationship, so I
Okay.
wanted to tell my story. And I didn't think it was gonna blow up, and it hit like 1 million views in one day. And I was like, oh my God, like oh my God, I'm famous.
Wow. So
Yeah, and
you were just kind of like posting about that and your journey, and you got 1 million views in a day.
yes, yes,
Oh, that
overnight,
makes
like, it
sense
was
because you've got
crazy.
46,000 subscribers, and I was like, damn, she's blowing up on
Yeah.
YouTube too.
No, yeah, that was YouTube, and then TikTok, I
Okay.
barely started it, and probably without this, I was already at like 7,000 subscribers on TikTok or followers. And then once I started this, like I'm almost at 12,000 already. So
Wow, that's crazy. So you leveraged, and what type of content was that? Just like funny content? Was it just personal content? What was that?
for like TikTok or YouTube,
TikTok.
well, it's just like my YouTube, like I guess like trailers type of thing. Like, hey, go
Oh,
subscribe to my channel. I just did this. Usually my YouTube channel was just mostly about like my personal life, vlogs, daily vlogs, story times, and stuff like that. And now like I'm kind of transitioning my channel to this, like, oh, how to make money online, or things like that.
cool. What was that transition? Did you find, because a lot of people ask me this about like starting some sort of channel on TikTok or really on any social media, like how how has that gone? Have you had any like, I mean, has it worked? Because people ask me about like taking personal channels
Mhm.
and transitioning them to, let's say, a certain niche like weight loss or like make money online or something like that. Did that
Well,
go okay? Did that work?
I was actually scared because I was like, okay, I know some people know me from my brand, my name, So I was like, will people still follow me or like the stuff I'm putting? Because now it's a different niche. And
Yep.
I was like, if the people want to follow, they're gonna follow. If they don't, they don't. And I thought about doing a separate, account, like my personal and then my business type of account. And I
Yep.
was like, you know what? Why would I basically start all over? I already have a following, and if they don't like seeing it, they can unsubscribe or unfollow. So I was like, let me just give it a try, let me do it on my personal channel, and if it doesn't go well, I can always just start all over and create like a business account. But I feel like it's going pretty good. I guess because I've already had those followers and they trust me, and they don't say, oh, it's a scam. They're kind of just like, oh, I've seen her, she's been very loyal to us, she's been very honest, so she wouldn't be putting out this scam. And I think that's what's grown my channel as well, just being authentic and honest. And people are gonna follow, people are gonna unsubscribe if they don't like what you're putting out. So I think go for it. If you want to stick with your personal channel, stick with it, and if not, make a business account, because I've thought about doing multiple accounts, because you never know, TikTok can like ban you on this account, and you have backup accounts.
Yep. Yep. Totally. Yeah. It's such a hit and miss thing, and I kind of feel like having those multiple different channels and accounts helps when that happens, or if that
Mhm.
happens, that people aren't suddenly just like, I have no idea where to find this person.
Yes.
I feel like marketers would be smart to, drive leads from each of their different platforms, get them into an email, and then spread around how you can find and follow us. Like, hey,
Mhm.
make sure to follow us on, Instagram and YouTube. So as I'm looking at your YouTube, like, how did you learn all these skills? Like, you're really good with thumbnails. Do you make your thumbnails?
Yes, I
Okay.
learned it from scratch. I started with like, I forgot, I was editing on iMovie on my iPhone, and then my parent,
Wow.
because I've always wanted to do YouTube. I don't know. I just feel good being on camera. I feel like that's like my happy place. So
Cool.
my parents got me a camera, and from there, like I just started learning how to do thumbnails,
Wow.
and I think that's what I guess I learned, like, from being on camera. I learned, like, what people wanna see, what people don't wanna see, and it is hard. It is
Yeah.
hard to, like, please people, for them to watch the whole video and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
it's possible.
What? So when they got okay, so they get you a camera, you just like start creating content. Like, what did you do like to learn things like, creating thumbnails on YouTube? Because your thumbnails on YouTube are pretty good. They're
Thank you.
really good. Like, what?
So,
How did how
Google.
did you get that inspiration? And then like, what types of do you use? Canva? Like, what do you use?
So, I will search on YouTube, like, hey, how do you make a thumbnail? How do you make like a the YouTube thumbnail in the back and stuff like that? I would be like hours watching the videos, learning step by step. Like I'll have it on my computer, and like I'm on my phone like this. But I do use Canva. I use Pixar. I do everything on my phone, like especially the thumbnails. The videos, obviously, I edit on like on my Mac Pro, but yeah, pretty much like I just do it on my phone, Canva, PixArt, things like that. You can Google those things, and all those apps pop up.
I wanted to ask that because people will ask us or me a lot that, and I knew your answer was, well, I didn't know. I had a hunch that your answer was basically, I figured it out. And that's such a powerful thing I think for people to see, is like when somebody does really great like YouTube thumbnails or even just content creation or video editing, like to be just like, no, I didn't go to school for that. No, I don't have a design degree. I'm not a graphic designer. I just Google searched. And, sometimes I've like told my wife this before. I was like, there's a lot of like high paid skills, and sure, I'm a smart marketer and I've learned a lot, but like the ability to Google search and figure it out is probably the best skill an entrepreneur can
Yes.
have. Like, to go to Google and then to know like what to type in and how to type it to get the result you want fast, because it speeds up. Like I've actually considered creating a course like called How to Google, and like just because I feel like the speed with which you can do that is the speed with which you can figure problems out and you can get shit done. And if you can increase that tool, like for an entrepreneur, that's invaluable because it's just time saved over and over and over again. I don't think it would sell very well, but I have thought about it. So in your world of TikTok, okay, so tell us when you started creating TikTok for affiliate marketing, like for you're trying to market and sell a business or a course. Like how long ago did you start, and what's that been like? How long did it take you to start generating some commissions, some leads and commissions?
So I started the beginning of December. So it's already a month that I've started on TikTok. And, like I said on my YouTube channel, I was very authentic, very honest, and I kind of put like my story into play all the time. So on TikTok, I was like, I need to do the same thing. How can I have these people relate to me? How can I how can I make these people buy what I'm putting out there? So I just started having fun with it. I was like, okay. And I also like will get ideas from other people. I would see other affiliated marketers like, okay, let me see what they do and how can I make it better? How can I make it mine? Not copy it step by step, but how can I make it mine? So I would put my story into play, and I just started being very consistent. I would post 3 times a day. Sometimes now I'm posting like 4 times a day just to keep that, the views going, the likes. And from day one, as soon as I posted my TikTok, I think I probably got my first commission, and I was so excited. It wasn't much, but I was like, oh my God, like this is crazy, because I've never saw that in Forex. I didn't see that in Amazon. I didn't see that. And I was always just disappointed. 3, 4 months go by and I'm just like, I don't see anything. And here, the first day, I was like, oh my God, like I was so in shock, and I was like, I know it's not a lot, but hey, that's a start. Like it gave me more, I guess, power, like more like ambition to just keep going.
Yeah, totally, totally. Yeah. And I feel like getting a result is always, I don't know, getting a result, more or less getting a result fast, but getting a result is always just such like a, man, it's just such a powerful thing because it changes something in you. It changes something about you. I don't know how to explain it really, but it is really powerful.
I feel like it changes the way you grind, I guess, because like when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, let's keep going, let's keep going. It just gives you like
Totally.
that fuel or something, like gas. I don't know.
Totally. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Yeah, it takes a toll, I think, for people sometimes when the results are slower and it's like, hey, why is this working for everybody else? I don't get it. Is there something wrong with me? Like, what's going on? But I also think that people need to be conditioned a little bit to understand that you had a little bit of like a fast forward because you built a little bit of an audience. And I think that for other people, the expectation shouldn't typically be that you're going to post a video and see a commission the next hour. You know, like it's a little unrealistic. It's not that uncommon that somebody's going to begin doing that quickly because of the power of social media and how fast TikTok growth can be. But I think tempering expectations helps and allows you to expect a little bit of a longer journey, which is usually the case. When you started creating content in this niche, did you find it easier or harder or different? Or because yeah, you might be good at creating content, but you know, getting ideas from other marketers and actually implementing them and implementing them into video content, video form isn't that easy. To especially just to jump right into it. Like, did you find that easier or harder? Was there any struggle to that?
Sometimes like it would be easy and sometimes it would be hard depending on what I was trying to do. Um, Sometimes I couldn't even put my story out there like, okay, how can I make this mine? And this is where I had to like brainstorm like, okay, how can I make this authentic? Like, how can I make this mine? And sometimes I would get frustrated. Like, I'm like, okay, I can't, like, it's not going good. I don't like it. Like, let me refilm it. And it's just like, huh. And then the whole day I'm just like, okay, whatever, let me take a 10-minute break and let me come back. And then I'd be fine. But like I said, I always just try to put my story. It is sometimes hard to look at other affiliated marketers and I'm just like, okay, that's theirs. How do I make it mine? And I'm brainstorm probably 5 to 15 minutes. And I'm just like, okay. And then once I have my thoughts together, I'm like, okay, well, this can be the caption. This can be like the storyline or whatever. And this will make people follow or click.
Yeah, totally. Do you use this tool called do you use this tool ever called Sort for TikTok? Have you heard of that?
I think I saw it when we were looking through the decade of the day, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
But no,
Um,
I just look like I'm just like basically stalking them, and I'm just like, okay, and I'm like, oh, I
yeah,
like these. I can implement this into my life. When they're
cool.
harder, like where I'm just like, okay, I can't put my story there. I'm kind of just like, okay, I'll leave that for next week or something.
Yeah, I was just only saying that just because like here I'll show you my screen real quick.
Okay.
I think I should be able to share my screen with you. I was only saying it just because there we go. This tool called Sort for TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
which is up here and the pop up is not showing. All right, let me share my full screen. Hang on. Because we've had a lot of people who have had a lot of luck with this, and there we go. Okay, you can still see my screen, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you see this Sort for TikTok?
Yes.
Okay. So it just goes on Google Chrome on your desktop, and you can hit Start. And what it'll do is it'll sort people's videos by most watched to least watched automatically.
Oh, I
So
see.
you can see the most watched stuff, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so what's cool about that is you can then, from your perspective, you can take, and what people have done is create a little spreadsheet, and they've actually organized that spreadsheet by most watched to least watched views. So, if you're going around looking for inspiration from people in your niche, which you should do, you should find inspiration, and that's the easiest way to find content, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you basically create what's called a swipe file, and most great marketers have used swipe files for decades and decades. But a swipe file is basically when you need some inspiration, you have a place you can go, and that route of doing it is so much more efficient and optimized, because once you start going through those, you can also put a check of like, hey, I basically created something similar to this. Here's how it
Oh, okay.
performed too, and you can kind of track your views. And then you have this list that's like, this one had 850,000 views. This one had 12 million views or whatever. And what it does is it allows you to be able to get ideas quicker than like just scrolling through hashtag stuff on TikTok, kind of wasting time and like
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure it out. You actually do a hard brainstorm session on your computer, which also, just as a side note, we have an interesting relationship to our phones, I think, like the way that we scroll and interact and stuff. And I think sometimes that's hard to like maintain focus and maintain the ability to like, I'm doing business now, right? But there's a
Yeah.
different thing when I'm like on a computer or like I'm on a desktop and I'm like, I'm sorting for TikTok and I'm putting things into a spreadsheet. It feels like a business, so I'm able to stay a bit more focused. I'm border ADHD, so like for me, these little tips and tricks are really helpful, and I find a lot of other people in our industry are a little
No, yeah,
tiny
it
on
is
their
helpful.
squirrel.
It is helpful a lot because when I am on my phone and I see other things, I'm like, oh, let me go check this out. And then like I go back, I'm like, okay, what was I doing? Like I
Yes.
kind of get lost. I feel like the stuff that you just showed me, that's so much easier than just scrolling and trying to find something. This right here, I can see what has good views. How can I relate it to like my story? Put it on a spreadsheet, check it off if I've already done it. So that's so much easier. I need to start doing that.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good trick, especially for people who are like trying to stay efficient, have a job. Like when you don't have that much time, you got to try to stay efficient with it. So,
Yeah.
and if you really think about it, you think about like affiliates like Stacy Law or like Calvin Hill or like big affiliates who have done multiple six figures and have done most of it from their TikToks. When you do a sort for TikTok, you're searching through so
Um,
many videos. I mean, thousands of videos in some cases, and you're just cherry picking the very top best
mhm.
performing ones. And so you're getting a real look into like what really worked for them. I think the only downside to that strategy is that on TikTok, the ones that you're finding by swiping and scrolling are usually the ones that are performing best right now, like current. And so, you got to decipher like, is something that worked 2 years ago going to work for me? It doesn't hurt to try for sure, but you have to kind of decipher and be smart about that, I think. Um,
Yes.
so you're doing content about four times a day or so. Are
Mhm.
you still working a job? Are you not working a job anymore?
So I do body sculpting on the side. I started doing it because my friend needed help when COVID hit, and
Wow.
like his sisters quit. So I was like, yeah, I'll help you. But that's basically what I do on the side. But this would be my full time job basically. I'm always trying to do it as soon as I wake up. I try to Google the times that's best to post on TikTok.
Right.
And I'm posting, in the morning, in the afternoon, midday, and then like nighttime.
Wow. That's super cool. I do find that finding the right time it seems to be kind of a consistent theme of people who have found, have hit the algorithm really well.
Mhm.
Sometimes people are just posting at the same time every day or the same couple of times and it's not working and they'll just post in the middle of the night. I've heard people posting at 1 a.m. and it just boom took off. They don't know why, they don't know what happened. They'll get 500,000 views, wake up and their TikToks exploded and leads are just pouring in. um, it is really, I think as with anything, I think there's a formula. I think that there's general guidelines to start with, but there's always, as a business owner, there's always going to be some degree of you have to figure it out. You have
Mhm.
to be able to find solutions. You have to be able to. And I just wanted to say, to you, really well done on your ability to get followers on multiple different platforms and to tell your story and to be authentic. I think
Thank
that
you.
you're good proof. And are you okay if we also shared your YouTube?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Because I also feel like the long form content and the short form content of your YouTube would be really valuable for people because some people don't believe that their story is worth it. Like I
Mhm.
was at a mastermind a month ago, and there's some ladies there who had battled through a lot of years of addiction, got clean, and then had things like their spouse pass away or
Mhm.
lost their house or whatever. And some of them were just like, yeah, but nobody wants to hear about me. And I think, when I go to your YouTube channel and you've got just real raw content about that, and story time, and you tell that video, you story time for me, or you tell the story, and like it just, everybody sees it, and I'm sure you've got lots of people who messaged or commented and were like, hey, this meant a lot to me,
Yes.
and I think sometimes the content goes deeper than just, how do I make money online? And sometimes people want to see and know somebody and make a human connection. And I just think it's really cool that, you were able to do that. So props to you on that.
Thank you.
Of course. If you were to, I'll give you the last word to our community, to everybody here. We've got a lot of people on live, but we've also got, usually thousands of people who will watch this after or listen to the podcast or whatever. There's a lot of people who listen to this who are newer, who are seeking that first commission, who are trying to create content, who are trying to quit their job or whatever. What would you say to those people who are just getting started, who are just trying to figure it out, and what would be your encouragement to them?
So I say keep going, because it's always going to be hard in the beginning, and don't expect to blow up, because when you expect it, I feel like it doesn't happen. And when you don't expect it, that's when you're like, oh my God, it happened, So do not give up, keep going, keep being consistent. Consistency is key on any platform, whether that's YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Look, I've never had a Facebook, and I made it for this, and I just started posting the reels, and I'm at, I think, almost 1,000 followers on the reels. So it's like, it's possible to start from zero. And who cares if you're 18, who cares if you're 60 years old doing this? Anything and everything is possible. You just really have to grind and really want it to see a difference. Like, if you do not want to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of your life, this is going to be like, what's it like, how you breathe and eat every day? This is basically going to be part of that. Like, when I tell myself I do not want a 9 to 5, I tell myself I don't want that. So what can I do, to avoid a 9 to 5? So it's grinding, being consistent, never giving up. Even if you have 0 followers, by Friday you might have 10 followers. That's a start. That's something. Or even if you have that one viewer who's always viewing your stuff, like, hey, that is something. That's something to be proud of. So guys, just keep going, never give up, just be consistent, and you'll see a difference. You'll see a difference, trust me.
I love it so much. Yeah, I think it's a powerful thing to always remember for literally everybody. There was always a day one. Always.
Yes.
Every person. Mark Zuckerberg, Nayeli, me, Dave, everybody had the day one. Everybody. Elon Musk, everybody. Doesn't matter. So yeah, I think that's important, and a good reminder. That's a really solid reminder. I appreciate that a lot. Well, thanks.
And just be yourself. Sorry, be yourself, because a lot of people like that. If people see that you're like, oh no, she's faking it, like they're just gonna hate on you, and you will have hate comments, but who cares? They're still watching. So
Totally. Yeah, they're still watching. And what's really powerful about that is, even in the hate comments, a lot of times I'll think to myself, I've just found it powerful to reframe that in a way of just remembering that some people are just in a shitty place in life. They're just in a hard place. They're just going through something. Maybe they've been abused. Maybe they've been hurt. Maybe they've been, laid off their job and they needed to take it off on somebody, right? And so I think sometimes, we overthink and overanalyze what people might say about us, say about our business, say about our personal life, whatever. But at the end of the day, some of those, many of those people, there's this phrase, hurt people, and, broken people hurt people. And thinking about people less as bad people, or mean, or angry, or whatever, and more as hurt and broken and struggling, which is what they are, allows a little bit of empathy. And it certainly allows us, if we're creating content, certainly allows us to just be like, damn, you know what? Like, I don't know what that guy's got going on, but
Mhm.
geez, that sucks, you know?
Yes.
And what a diffusing response. I mean, for somebody who's looking to just get in a, literally, they want to get in a, they want to pick up shit and throw it at you, and they're
Yes.
just hoping you're going to throw that back, you know? And
Yes.
to get that response is just like a, oh man, you're right, I'm hurting.
Mhm.
And when people who are hurting, they have that reflected or mirrored back to them. It's called mirroring, which you know from psychology. It diffuses everything. It's
Yeah.
shame and guilt and all of those emotions can't live in the light. They can only live when they're covered up and hidden. So that's cool. I like that, and I love that approach, and I love your mindset. And yeah, I'm just excited for you. I'm excited for your journey and where this will lead. And congrats on finally trying something that works,
Yes.
right?
Thank
So
you.
it's not Forex trading, and you don't have to do
Yes.
math all day. This is a lot more simple, and the cool part is like it just fits right in your wheelhouse. And for people who are
Yes.
watching today who are like, I'm struggling a little bit figuring out what works for me. I just think the best thing that you could possibly do would just be to try things without the feeling of like maybe I'm gonna feel shame or guilt or something if I
Mhm.
quit, or if I don't fully follow through or whatever. Like, look, when you first start out in this, you don't need to feel a bunch of shame and guilt over like, I
Yes.
tried something, it didn't work. Like, just move on. It's not a big deal. You're gonna try new things. You're gonna try hard things. Some of it's gonna work, some of it's not. You just need to be able to discern if I'm quitting because I'm scared, or if I'm
Yes.
quitting because it's like this is legit not a good fit for me, and I know myself, and I know this isn't the right fit yet. For somebody who's created a bunch of content, or somebody who feels and believes that they can learn it, it's just a great fit. It makes sense. So that's
Yes.
why it was such a good fit. So, well, cool. Hey, you're killing it. And
Thank
you know
you.
what I tell everybody who's killing it? If I could go back to my 22-year-old self and say, hey, dude, you're killing it. What I would tell that person would be, when you find something that works, don't stop.
Mhm.
So, if I want to try something new, or I want to try something extra, or try something a little different, I'm going to keep my system in place that's working. What have I done that's worked so far? Don't stop that, because that's the revenue of the business.
Yes.
Start something else if I want to later down the road, but it can't be at the detriment to my business that's working for me right now, because that's my livelihood. And so that would be my encouragement to you if you're open to hearing it. So,
Yes. Thank you so much.
of course, well, we're happy to help. And if you ever need anything, let us know. We'd love for you to check back in here in a couple months and have you back on if you're open to it. And
Yes,
we'll
of
get you up via
course.
email. Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks, Nayeli. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you guys. Bye.
See ya. Hey, I'm going to put up her social handles here. You can go follow her. I believe that I dropped in the excuse me, in the comments. I guess I didn't. I'll drop her YouTube as well in the comments, so you can go watch some of the more long form content. But you can see it. It's at Nayeli, which is spelled NAYELI CARBAJAL_ and Nayeli. I'm going to bring you on here real quick.
Okay.
Is it just one underscore?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Got it. Okay. Only one underscore at the end of it. Nayeli Carbajal, I think. CARBAJAL_ That's on TikTok and Instagram. You can also go into the comments and find her YouTube as well. You can just search her on YouTube and it'll come up, I'm sure. But yeah, another powerful episode. Make sure to go give her a follow on TikTok and on Instagram. Let her know, by the way, the reason that we, send out her handles and send out people's handles is so that you can be a positive encouragement to people inside of our community. So, if you go out and you do that, start building good business karma by, encouraging her, saying, hey, I found you on Wake Up Legendary. I saw your episode. Here's what's inspired me. I liked this part of the episode, whatever. And make sure to show some love. The last part is you can text the letters WUL. So Wake Up Legendary, WUL, to 813-296-8553. And every time that we go live for Wake Up Legendary, we send out a little text. It has a Facebook link in it, so you can literally just tap it. Boom, you're tapped right into the Facebook Live that we do every Monday through Friday. We've been doing it for a long time, but we've been doing it specifically with people inside of our communities as guests for about 2 years, nearly 2 years. And we've got a long list of people. We're booked at least 3 weeks out right now. And I don't think that that's going to stop. I think that there's new people coming into our community every day who are leveraging what they're learning and turning it into financial success. So guys, we're going to wrap for the day. We'll be back here. I'll be back here tomorrow, same time, same place. And then Dave will be back here Thursday, Friday to close out the week. Have a great rest of your week. Let's get it. 2022 is going to be a really big year for us online, for everybody who's online. My name's Matt. I'm the CMO here. Peace out.